Hi, I'm Julian and I'm President and one of the founders here at Cambridge Sleep Sciences.
And I'm Mike, Senior Vice President at Cambridge Sleep Sciences.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. It's been created to give you everything you need to easily and confidently sell the SleepEngine Pod to your customers.
And we're going to cover how to start the conversation with a customer, how to explain the product simply and clearly, how to handle questions that usually come up, and how to use the demo effectively, and how to close naturally without it ever feeling like a hard sell.
By the end of the video, you won't just know what the pod does, you'll know exactly how to talk about it.
Here's the single most important thing I can share with you about selling the SleepEngine Pod. Don't start with the product, start with the person. The best opening isn't a pitch, it's a question. And the question is simply this: how are you sleeping at the moment? And that's it, 7 words. And here's the thing, almost everyone will have something to say. Sleep is universal. Almost half the population isn't sleeping well. So whether a customer gives you a shrug, not great actually, launches into a full story about lying awake till 3 a.m, or even says that they sleep great, you've opened the door. You haven't pushed a product at them, you've asked about their life. And now, when you offer a solution, it's because they've told you they need one. And that's a completely different dynamic, and it makes the rest of the sales conversation far easier. So once a customer has told you about their sleep, this is where you introduce the pod. And when you do, keep it simple. Here's the kind of language that works really well. So this is the SleepEngine Pod. It plays specially designed sounds while you sleep that gently retrain your brain to sleep better. You don't need to wear anything. You don't need to adjust anything. Just place it under or behind your pillow or near to you. Switch it on and go to sleep. That's it. Apart from enjoying the benefits of a genuinely better night's rest, no complicated explanation needed, no science lecture. You've told them what it does, what they don't have to do, and how simple it is, in about 30 seconds. The key is to make it sound effortless, because it is. For extra impact, make sure you hold the pod as you speak to the customer. A customer who can see the product while hearing a simple description will engage much faster than one hearing a technical explanation.
The SleepEngine Pod uses a scientifically developed patented technology called, as you might expect, SleepEngine. The sounds it plays use specific frequencies that the brain naturally recognizes and follows, guiding you through all the proper stages and cycles of healthy sleep. It has 4 sleep programs to choose from, and it also has a variety of soundscapes and alarm sounds, all controlled by an easy-to-use app. The technology has been through independent clinical trials. Not internal tests, independent trials, and the results are clear. 94% of users reported an improvement in their sleep. Some experienced up to 2.5 hours of extra sleep per night. And this technology isn't new. It's already being used by customers around the world in a range of different products. The pod is the latest and most popular product featuring the SleepEngine technology. So when a customer chooses it, they're choosing something that works in the real world with real science and real evidence behind it.
I'd like to talk about the question you will almost certainly be asked at some point by your customers. Isn't this just a white noise machine? Now, it's a good question, and the answer is simple: no. And here's how to explain it in plain language. White noise can be useful for masking sounds in a sleep environment. So if you live somewhere noisy, it can help. And for example, if a dog is barking outside or a car passes by, but it actually doesn't do anything to help the brain sleep. SleepEngine is completely different. It actively guides your brain through all the natural stages of sleep, using a specific pattern of sound waves that's been developed for over 15 years and tested in independent clinical trials. White noise covers up the problem, SleepEngine solves it. If you prefer to use numbers, clinical trials show white noise is effective for 34% of users trying to get to sleep. The SleepEngine helps 94% of people not only get to sleep, but experience great sleep. That distinction, covering up versus solving, tends to land very well. It respects the customer's intelligence, answers their question directly, and repositions the pod as something categorically more sophisticated. Now, once you've made that distinction clearly, most customers move from skeptical to genuinely curious, and curious is exactly where you want them.
This is the section I want you to really take notice of, because it's probably the single biggest factor in whether a customer buys or walks away undecided. Use the demo every time. The in-store demo is your most powerful sales tool, and it costs you nothing but a few minutes. Here's what to do. Let the customer hold the pod. Feel the weight of it. Get familiar with it. Open and play the demo app. Let them listen to the introduction and hear what it sounds like. This is often where the wow moment happens. That moment when a customer hears the sounds for the first time and feels something shift is the moment the conversation changes. You'll see it on their face. They'll stop being a skeptic and they'll start being someone who wants to buy the product. Don't skip the demo because you feel like the conversation is going well without it. The demo makes good conversations great and closes sales that words alone wouldn't.
You're investing in a great mattress. The SleepEngine Pod means you'll actually get the full benefit of it every single night. Otherwise, you might have the perfect sleep environment and still not sleep well, because the issue is on how your brain is cycling through sleep. The SleepEngine Pod addresses that. That framing is powerful because it's true. A beautiful mattress can't fix a brain that isn't cycling through sleep properly, but the pod can. And a customer who hears that will understand that this just isn't an extra purchase. It's what makes their main purchase worthwhile. It's a win-win. The customer gets the ultimate sleep solution and you've gained an additional sale.
The SleepEngine Pod is a premium product, and at a premium price point, some customers will pause. That's completely normal, and it's absolutely manageable if you reframe the conversation. The framing that consistently works best is the cost per night. Try this. Over a year, the pod works out at just over £1, €1 or $1 per night. That's roughly the cost of 2 takeaway coffees a week, for the benefit of a clinically proven, measurably better sleep every single night. Most people spend that on a coffee without a second thought. Reframing the cost in those terms makes the price feel not just reasonable, but genuinely good value. You can also help the customer think about what poor sleep is actually costing them in energy, in focus, in mood, in productivity, in how they show up for the people around them. Alternatively, for those customers that already sleep well, help them to consider what even better sleep could help them achieve in those areas. SleepEngine has been proven to improve the sleep of those who already have good sleep, as well as those who sleep poorly. When you put the pod in that context, it stops being a luxury and starts being an investment in their quality of life.
Here's the good news about closing a pod sale. By the time you get here, most of the work is already done. And if you've asked the right opening questions, given a simple explanation, let them hear the demo and handled any questions, the customer's already most of the way there. What they need now is a gentle invitation, not a push. That's it. Simple, low pressure, focused entirely on their experience and not the transaction. So don't overthink the close. A customer who's heard the science, tried the demo, and had their questions answered is not waiting for a hard sell. They're waiting for permission to say yes. So give that permission to them. And that's it. A brief guide to ensure that you get a yes to the SleepEngine Pod from your customers. So just to bring everything together, start with the customer, not the product. Ask how they're sleeping. Explain the pod, the technology. Simple, there's no jargon needed. Handle the white noise question confidently. SleepEngine is very different. Reframe the price. The pod is great value for better sleep. close gently, and give permission to say yes. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I wish you lots of success in selling the SleepEngine Pod and helping to make a real difference to the lives of your customers. Sleep well.